Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the female reproductive system. We're going to see that the female and male reproductive system are similar in terms of the functions that they have, but that they are also specialized and different based on some of these functions as well. So some of the structures will perform similar functions, but then other structures will have different shapes and jobs based on their function. So here we go with the functions of the female reproductive system. The first function is to produce, female gametes, and the female gamete is an egg. We also call those ova. The second function is to produce the female reproductive hormones. The female reproductive system is also the place of internal fertilization, meaning that's where a baby is made. It's also the location where the baby forms, or the development of the fetus. The female reproductive system also will then be involved in producing food for the baby. So whereas the male reproductive system was more concerned with producing gametes and hormones, the female reproductive system produces gametes and hormones, but also is going to have a lot of functions that have to do with development of a fetus, and the fetus is another term for the growing baby. Here we have the structures of the female reproductive system. First then you have a side view. And let's start. Just like with the male, we started with the testes, and there are two testes, and the testes produce gametes. With the female, we start with two ovaries. So if you look over here, you have two oval, almost egg-shaped like structures in the female reproductive system. Here they are on this one, and those are called ovaries. They're the location of storage and development of eggs. When a woman is born, or when a little baby girl is born, she's already born with all her eggs she'll ever need. And those eggs or ova are then stored in the ovaries until they are used. The ovaries produce female reproductive hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is the hormone that's similar to testosterone in males. Estrogen in females is responsible for the appearance of the secondary sexual characteristics. It also stimulates the development of puberty. It also then maintains the reproductive organs throughout a woman's life. Progesterone, which starts with a P, is more of the hormone of pregnancy, and that is the hormone that prepares the uterus for pregnancy and the mammary glands for lactation, for producing milk. Next to the ovary, and we'll go back to the original picture again, we see the ovary. The egg can be released from the ovary. It then goes to in this diagram, they call it fallopian tubes or the oviduct. The oviduct or fallopian tube connect the ovaries and the uterus. When a mature ova is released from the ovary, it will travel into the oviduct. When it's in the oviduct, it can be fertilized. Fertilization simply means the combination of sperm and egg. So the fallopian tube or oviduct is a passageway. It's also the only place where an egg can become fertilized to develop into a fetus. If this egg does in fact develop into a fetus, it will then travel to the uterus, going back to our picture. So we see here the egg can go from the ovary to the fallopian tube to the uterus, this light pink kind of V in the middle here. So the uterus is the womb. It's basically a large muscle. It's the place where a growing embryo or fetus is going to develop. So once a fertilized egg reaches the uterus, it will implant into the wall of the uterus. It will be able to get nourishment from the mom in this location. It will get protection, physical protection, by staying inside this muscle, and it'll also be the place by which it eliminates its waste. If the egg is not in fact fertilized, though, the lining of the uterus will shed during menstruation. After the baby develops in the uterus, it will eventually, after 9 months, need to leave the body, and it will leave the body through the cervix. The cervix is the lower portion of the uterus. The birth canal, which is where the baby exits from, will join the cervix to the outside of the world, and the cervix is the location where the sperm can enter the female and where the baby will eventually exit the female.